Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In my last video, I talked about the things I don't like about my 2014 Honda Civic. So today I want to balance that out a bit. You're looking into a pretty dirty engine bay, yes I know, but hey, it's not how it looks. It's how it performs and how little it costs. But it's really one of those cars that you can count on every single day. I am comfortable I live in Maryland. I'm comfortable to drive this 2014 Civic to California and back without turning the engine off, and with full confidence it will take me there with cold AC blowing or the heater, whatever I need, and just a little bit of hint of what's to come while burning little or minimal amount of gas, keeping money in my pocket. So yes, let's get to it. So yeah, the first thing, of course, is the reliability. Just so you know, this vehicle has almost 140,000 miles on it. It had like 82,000 miles on it. And since I've purchased the vehicle, really, what have I done? Spark plugs, I think I did change. Yeah, I did change spark plugs. The battery went out, and I mean, nothing catastrophic when it did. Got that changed earlier this year. Just started to add low charts. I just changed it. Really, apart from that, wiper blades. And right now, I'm struggling to think of things I've done. Brake pads and rotors. Front, I did change. The rear were changed. Rear drum brakes and stuff were changed before I purchased the car. Yeah, that's really all. And then the lights. Yeah, that needs some love and attention. Got to get those cleaned up. But yeah, so reliability is definitely a big thing for this year. It's argued that the CVT transmissions in they aren't the greatest. Honestly, this is my fifth Honda, the third with the CVT transmission. I've had no issues with those, and they're not as drony. Yeah, it's somewhat drony, but not as drony as say some of the other CVTs I've seen. What's that open screw hole there? But anyway, so yeah, I think just frequent fluid changes. You can go on YouTube, find videos how to change the fluid on these, which is one of the other benefits there. But anyway, yes, very reliable. Will get you where you need to be, no problems. Even the electronics, a little outdated, but at the same time, airplane passing. Sorry, you can tell I'm close. I'm close to the airport. But yes, at the same time, sometimes basic technology is great because it's less likely to break. So yes, if you're looking for something reliable, this is the car to get. And a lot of people said stay away from the CVTs 2012 to 15. I would say go for it, especially these 2012 to 14 before they introduced turbo. Still, and some of the newer Civics had like fuel contamination issues where can lead to premature wear of the engine. This doesn't burn a drop of oil after almost 150,000 miles. Highly recommended. Reliability wise, I have a 2013. There's a solenoid valve somewhere there. Sometimes you got a bunch of emission lights. I would say change that solenoid valve, solenoid emission solenoid, and you should be it's somewhere right there, and you very likely will get rid of that problem. Apart from that, these cars are known to really hold up. So yeah, other thing I like, yes, question. Some people might argue for this one, but I like how it drives. It's yeah. Next, going on to the next one, economical. Well, even before I get to that one, I kind of give that away. The driving feel, even though it does have the CVT as we mentioned, a little drony, but in terms of comfort, it's very simple. Push no buttons, electric buttons to fail. You just use your hands. All manual controls there for the seat, even under there to push back and forward. But in terms of driving feel, I gotta say, hey, it goes. Yes, it's not the fastest thing on the road, of course, but it gets you where you need to be without a problem, without breaking the bank. And that takes us to the next one, which is fuel economy. This car is super fuel efficient. I consistently get about 32 miles per gallon, which, I mean, makes it really easy on the wallet for daily commute. You know, you think about modern standards, cars haven't gone that much farther than 35 miles per gallon, which this can get on longer trips on the highway. They're more about 35 to 40 now, averaging some of the newer cars. So this is still way ahead of its time, getting up to 35 miles per gallon on the highway. Average 32. Hey, that's not gonna break the bank. So yes, and the other one, you know, easy to fix. Again, I've changed the brakes myself. I've done the oil change myself. I've changed the CVT fluid myself, cabin filters, you name it. There are so many of these cars that it's remarkably easy to find um, videos online of how to videos online to do just about every and anything on these cars. So yeah, trunk there, that's also another perk. The trunk is rather massive. I had a 2014 Accord, and I remember going to Sam's Club, Casco, and I could fit more stuff in the Civic than I could in the Accord, which was very strange to me. But yeah, and finally, cheap to own and maintain. So this kind of ties into, here comes the airplane. Yes, this ties into most of what I've established before. Cheap to own. The parts are very affordable. Again, they're Hondas, they're very common, they're everywhere. So you have more people making the parts, and because you have more competition, you know, the prices tend to be lower than, say, Hyundai, Ford, or some of these other economical category cars. Um, but yeah, very cheap parts, you know, repair, they don't break the bank. Of course, most mechanics, they're familiar with these Hondas. The engine bay, there's so much space. Look at all that space, you know, and these are reliable parts, so you can even get away with purchasing things used. Um, Low mileage, there's so many of them, so very cheap to maintain. You can get original parts at good price, you can get used parts at good price, you can get new aftermarket parts at good price. And mechanics generally, they love working on these. They know how they are, they're easy to work on, so it's not going to cost you too much. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. So for, you know, those are really the 5 things I like about my 2014 Honda Civic. You know, reliability, dry fuel, it's economical, easy to fix, cheap to own and maintain. Honestly, it's not perfect, of course, but you know, it's a solid car. I cannot recommend this car enough. It's easy to live with, you know. So yeah, let me know in the comments what do you love about your Civic, and don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and see you in the next one. Thank you for tuning in. Bye bye.